We welcome you to MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford, New Jersey for a big-time matchup in the NFL Week 16 here on ASC. Today, we feature two teams, though not a lot to play for, still want to end the latter stage of their season with a win. Of course, 3 weeks left to go in the season, not a lot of time left to get some wins to kind of end your season. The Jets, they had high expectations with Aaron Rodgers, of course, went down, so did those expectations. For the Raiders, it certainly hasn't been the season that they hoped for, and now they're in contention for a top 5 draft pick in the draft. So today, Zach Wilson and the New York Jets set host to Aidan O'Connell and the Las Vegas Raiders. We get set for an AFC matchup. You're watching the NFL here on ASC. So here we go. This one is off and away, and this will go into the end zone for Xavier Gipson. This will be a touchback. Zach Wilson, he started every game since week 3. Aaron Rodgers, of course, went down in week 2 with the knee injury, out for the season. And here Wilson will trot out to the 25. It's been a decent season for him. Missed some time a year ago. Of course, he was the main guy in New York when he was drafted back in 2021. Things changed, though, however. But for now, he's the starter today. So here we go, 4th and goal. Jets were elected to just kick 3, and Greg Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And it's 3 points to start the evening here in New Jersey with the Jets leading the Raiders. So here we go. This one's off and away from Morstead. It will go into the end zone. We'll see if it's returned. It will be from about 2 yards deep and coming out just shy of the 25, or rather the 30-yard line. So Aidan O'Connell, drafted in the 4th round out of Purdue. Of course, the Raiders were high on Jimmy Garoppolo, got benched after week 7, and this has been O'Connell's team since. He hasn't done a bad job with the Raiders, just some mistakes that have cost them the game. They currently sit at 4-10. We'll see what they can muscle out today. As now 4th down and inches, Raiders staying out there. They keep Jacobs in the game. Here's a give. Jacobs will have enough for the first down. So here we go. The Raiders cannot cash in the end zone. This one a little bit farther from Zuerlein, and this one is up and through for Daniel Carlson. And the Raiders have tied this game 1 drive apiece. Each team going to get 3 points out of it. 4th down and 5. Raiders defense did their job on 3rd to hold Zach Wilson. This one for Zuerlein's up and through. 2 for 2 on field goals today, and along with drives, 2 field goals on each of their first 2 drives. 6-3, Jets in front. And finally, they will bring down Davante Adams, and that will end the first quarter. All field goals, 6-3, Jets leading the Raiders. 3rd down and 4 from the 6. Jets show 4. They're going to send him. O'Connell throws, and it's caught for the touchdown. Davante Adams, the slowest season in his NFL career, but he's been on fire the past couple weeks, has a touchdown. Aidan O'Connell said it. It's been an honor to work with a guy like Davante Adams in the starting lineup, and he threw it right to him there on the slant. No question who he was going to, as a DJ Reed in coverage, but Adams with the quick slant got him right off the line. And the Raiders take their first lead of the game and are the first team to find the end zone in this late 4 o'clock game. Kick is up and good for Carlson to make it 10-6. Raiders in front by 4. Attempt number 3 for Greg Zuerlein. It won't get the lead, but it puts the Jets down by 1. They inch their way closer, yet they still trail. Down by 1 at home. And on 4th and 1, pitch to Jacobs. Oh, got stood up at the line and did not get the marker. The Jets defense comes up huge on 4th and inches, and they stop the Raiders, who were going aggressive instead of taking 3. Ends up costing them. Out comes the Jets offense. 2-minute warning here in the opening half. 10-9, Raiders on top by 1. Here we go, 1st down and 10 from the 34. This drive started way back in their own territory. Wilson looking, firing. Garrett Wilson with the catch. And Garrett Wilson gets brought down at the 35, inside Raider territory and inside field goal range for Zuerlein. Zach Wilson had the time. The patience stepped up, made the throw, and Garrett Wilson, his favorite target, was open. Wilson to Wilson for a big pickup to end the half. Zuerlein kick is up and through. 4 field goals in the opening half for Greg Zuerlein. And the Jets, who were down by 4 for a good portion there, have a 2-point lead going into the second half. It's been a tight one. Defense has been huge in this ball game. The Raiders have kept the Jets out of the end zone, but in return, the Jets have been able to put up 4 field goals and have the advantage. Here's the punt from A.J. Cole, which will go back deep and over the head of Gibson. This will bounce and roll down to the 1-yard line. A perfect punt from A.J. Cole. And he backs up the New York Jets in their own territory. Look at that punt. And it's going to be challenging for Zach Wilson, the offense. We'll see what they can do backed up deep inside their own territory. Number 5 on the day, Zuerlein. Perfect again. 5 for 5, 15-10 lead. The Jets now starting to pull away a little bit over the Raiders. Second down and 10 from the 33. Wilson, with time, runs out of it. Down he goes. And that is Tillery who got to Zach Wilson. This is the second sack of the year for Tillery, who's been injured for a couple of games, came back in Week 13, making a big impact here. There was no one blocking him, and he had an open path to the quarterback. And the Raiders' defense is able to step up. They get the sack here. Troubling situation for the Jets. And that will end the third quarter with a crucial 3rd down and 3. Raiders trail by 5, but they're on the move. 15 minutes to try and come back and win the game. 2nd and goal. They have Jacobs in the backfield, O'Connell under center. Jets with 4 on the defensive line. This one's caught by Hooper, who's in for the touchdown. Aiden O'Connell with his 2nd touchdown pass of the day. And the Raiders go up by 1 with a lot of time on the clock in this game. The Jets have kicked 5 field goals. The Raiders have found the end zone twice, and it's Hooper on the quick little curl route. Fights through Jordan Whitehead's attempted tackle and into the end zone for his first touchdown of the year. And it looks like the Raiders are going to stay out there and go for 2 to try and make it a 3-point game. Crucial because another field goal from New York would just tie it. O'Connell to throw. He's going to be sacked, falling down, and the Jets get the stop. And that could be huge in the long run of this game. C.J. Mosley got home, I believe, for the sack on Aiden O'Connell. Let's take a look at what happened. Right here, Jacobs trying to pick it up, and O'Connell tripped. It looks like Jacobs and O'Connell's feet got tangled up, and O'Connell fell to the ground, and C.J. Mosley going to get credit on the sack on the 2-point conversion. So here we go. 3rd and 1. Wilson looking, firing, intercepted, picked off, and a huge play by the Raiders defense. Unbelievable. And now with 10 minutes to go, they get a huge interception on Zach Wilson. He threw it way behind Tyler Conklin. Must have been a miscommunication, or maybe that was for Garrett Wilson. Either way, the Raiders capitalize, and out comes O'Connell to put possibly some crucial points on the board for the lead. Zuerlein trying to go 6 for 6, and he does. 18-16. The Jets, with just under 4 minutes to go, lead by 2 at home. 2-minute warning with the Jets up by 2 and a 2nd and 9 trying to ice this game. They will let the clock run out, and a big win for the New York Jets. Zach Wilson with a pretty good game. They escape at home over Las Vegas, who will fall to 4-11, and they now currently sit last in the AFC. Aiden O'Connell had a really good day, 2 touchdown passes, but it's Robert Saleh's team who kicks all field goals and comes away with the win. Take a look at that. The Jets had 6-6-3-3 in their 4 quarters. The Raiders 3-7-0-6. But it was really the Raiders who played more consistent over the Jets today, better on offense, but just the Jets were able to drive down into Raider territory and at least come away with points. That was key. The Raiders couldn't always do that when they were in Jet territory, and in the end, that's the difference, just that consistency by the New York Jets. So it's the Jets who get the win, 18-16 over the Raiders, and like I mentioned, just a game that didn't really mean too much coming into the day, but still huge for New York to kind of build that confidence back up. Wilson played pretty good, 289, 1 interception. Big day for Garrett Wilson. Aiden O'Connell, 255, 2 touchdowns. One of those going to Davante Adams, who had 3 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. Good day for Michael Mayer, 9 receptions for 91 yards. Horrible day for Josh Jacobs, who just had 15 rushing yards. This is ASC, signing off.